Hey, all right. Welcome everybody to the CCL play-ins. We've got a match coming up for you. It's Ole Miss versus Wake Forest. But before we hop into it, I do have a special shout out that I want to do. It is currently my dad's birthday, so I want to wish him a happy birthday. Everyone in the chat, send him birthday wishes. He deserves it. He's tuned into the stream. He's going to be watching. So yeah, happy birthday. Love you. And now let's get into it.
Biggest OS fan I know. So yeah, we have a rematch game today from the Wake Forest land just a couple weeks ago. We were both at. All of those games seem to go really long.
Yeah.
Ole Miss did get the victory, but they were all just marathons. So I think we should have a good match in store for us today. We'll see what Wake Forest does to mix it up. This will be being played on the last patch, so all the stuff that changed yesterday, just for the viewers, if you didn't know, all the stuff that changed yesterday isn't having an effect on plans. It's just going to be how it was the whole season. And so, yeah, we'll see what these teams do to mix it up because they're very familiar with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The match that was played at the LAN was quite the sight to watch. Every round was exceedingly close, and it was probably one of the hypest matches I've ever seen. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
We had, I believe, a 28 kill game from Yachty.
Yeah.
With the infamous clip of him killing DKB. Yeah, we'll see. We're starting on AtLab, which I know is a map that Ole Miss doesn't love, but Taiko was their pick, the second map. They're super familiar there, and I know they like it. And then what was our third? Night Market, which I think should be pretty even. So I'm expecting Ole Miss to be a little uncomfortable in the first map, but very uncomfortable in the second one. So I think that first map is really where Wake Forest could strike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if I remember correctly, DKB was like a little bit new at the LAN. Just that's kind of the feeling that I got with what some of the people were saying. So now, both teams have had even more time to play together. They know how each other plays. And so I think, honestly, this match could be even closer than the LAN.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think both teams maybe expected or definitely hoped to get in without the plan to just be in the playoffs and not have to play this week. So I think they're both going to be extremely motivated to get in the winner's side of this and not risk missing. Wake Forest, they had roster changes, but they were a top 8 team last year. And Ole Miss has got a lot of coaching. Lonzo was sort of anointed by Zorro. So they have high expectations too. So I mean, both teams are going to be highly motivated. I'm sure they've all been working. I think both teams also have very deep character pools, like especially Alonso plays anything. Clear Love and Yachty sort of switch between midfield and forward, so you can see a lot of different things, and it's hard to predict what they're going to be playing.
Yeah. And so, I guess let's look at the bracket.
Yep.
We've got, Wake Forest versus Ole Miss coming up. Later going on, we got Team RPI and Rutgers Esports Red. And then followed, we've got Auburn Esports A versus Oso Esports in the first round. Winner of this match is going to be going on to fight against West Valley Storm Strikers.
Yeah, not an easy matchup for whoever wins.
Definitely not.
But they'll have the advantage of already being planned right now and having some. Well, looks like we're about to get into the game here.
There we go. Good
First
luck
map
to
being Wake Forest pick of Atlas.
Good luck to both teams. And looking forward to it. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
Starting Awakenings.
Unstoppable are the starters. Just going to be interesting. I would expect to see Juno either banned or maybe picked on both sides. I know both teams are pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, because Juno with Hot Shot is really good. And surprisingly, no Juno ban.
You go ahead. Yeah, no Juno ban. They look to get rid of the Estelle, which Jumper is really comfortable on and was kind of dominating them at points with in the last game they played a couple weeks ago. But still
Mhm.
surprised to see them let Juno go in, but I guess that means they want to play it as well. So we'll see a Juno mirror.
Yep.
Jumper cycling through, looking to go for something similar to Estelle, projectile power, trying to keep Alonso on his toes.
Yep. And Kai is what he played at the LAN last time as well. So we've kind of already gotten a little bit of a preview of how he plays. But
Yeah, we have Vice from both sides as well.
ooh,
I
always love to
assume
see
that's
Vice.
Alonso on Vice.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Vice gold.
And Malone playing Atlas, which he was playing all the time at the LAN. I think he's very comfortable with the deck. Jumper's going to see what he can do. DKB, I'm not sure if he's played this a lot. I didn't see it much at the LAN device, so it's going to be interesting to see how he can score. Jumper with a great barrier there.
So far, not a whole lot has been happening. It's kind of been mostly neutral. Wake Forest has gotten that first barrier. Oh, DKB
They get the second
knocked
barrier,
out.
open the goal up, but DKB goes down. Jumper's going to try to put this in. They're doing well keeping the core away from Ole Miss with the power play on.
Very good stalling to get that striker advantage dealt with. Starting to press the
Absolutely.
advantage a
looks
little bit
comfortable
here.
here. Not a lot of pressure on Malone.
Yep. Fearlove trying to go for a kill on Jumper.
Got him low. Luckily, they have the Atlas to appeal. The core's just staying a lot in the middle, not even getting close to the barriers, really, or the goal. Get a KO there, but both barriers open. So both goals. Alonso has flip and Malone has flip. Great passing from Wake Forest. They're looking to get it. Alonso goes for a bit of a greedy goal play. Uses his flip, but clears it out there. All players alive now, back to the 3-on-3. Alonso's doing a great job holding it on. I think Wake Forest has had more pressure, but right now anyone could score with both goals open.
So right now, Ole Miss does have the advantage. They're putting on that pressure. It's almost a tricky Juno jump right there. But both goalies are just...
Core's, for a while, been staying now on this side in the early round. And wow, Alonso finds the first goal.
That's one thing that Vice goalie is always good at, is just like, at any time, you could just have 3 forwards going on the attack with their teleport. And that's something that's really tricky to deal with as a goalie.
Yeah. You can try to think about it, but you never expect some of those angles that you can come out with. The Juno Slime's putting in work there. Get the first barrier open. Looked like in the early round, Wake Forest was able to control the core, keep it near the center, but then late round, Alonso was just doing a great job, sort of playing a midfield role and just keeping the core on Wake Forest side, and that's how they were able to get that first conversion.
Yeah. Because this whole round, the core has been almost entirely on the left side of the map.
Yeah, just putting no pressure on Alonso, although they do find a barrier there.
Easy first barrier. It always happens as soon as I say something.
Of course. The cats are cursed.
Yep.
Playing it slow here. Yachty sort of is positioned as the front player here.
Oh, and another goalie score. Once again, just using that really good aggressive power from Vice to come forwards, use the burst, get the goal.
Yeah, that's part of the strength of Alonso. He obviously has great just goalie skills in general, but he has such a deep character pool, really no pick you expect him to play. And so I'm sure they weren't necessarily expecting to have a Vice scoring like this.
From Ole Miss.
Great job by Yachty there.
Jumper picking up a barrier though.
Yeah, DKB uses the flip, doesn't get much out of it. Ole Miss continuing to just keep the core in front. Completely in control of this game. Although Clearlove finding himself low. Staggered there.
Very dangerous position. But doesn't
Clearlove just holding on, but they're still doing a great job keeping the pressure on, even with him low. Alonso holding it down, great defense. He's found both goals as well.
DKB, they get the knockout on DKB. Ole Miss has the striker advantage.
Malone with a flip ready. We saw a few times at the LAN where he would hold it for the next round, but hopefully not here. Uses it there right as I say it. Good clear there, good patience to not throw it into the Juno slime. Wake Forest finally has a bit of an opportunity here. Holding control of the core. That center is about to spawn and might shake things up here. Both players get low. Juno with hot shot there. Once it's overtime, it's tough, but both sides have the advantage. And Alonzo, clean sweep, doesn't let any goals in, scores all three himself.
All three from the goalie that round. That was just some, honestly, really good defensive play from Alonzo, but also really good offensive play as well. Really utilizing Vice's toolkit to just not let anything get through and then just stuffing it through the goal.
Yeah, and both forward players really keeping it in the front for Alonzo to score, which is what you'd never expect, but it worked great. They just kept the pressure on, and then Alonzo would teleport in when they least expected it. You see the Zentaro getting Stagger Swagger here. That should help. Castellas on the Atlas. There wasn't much else for him. He maybe would have liked to see primetime, but I think a fairly even perhaps there.
Once again, just that snap offensive pressure coming from the goalie. It's just so hard to react to, and they take the first victory here.
The Jumper doing a great job taking control of the middle. Good clear by Malone there. They want to keep the pressure on here. Don't get much out of the Vice hole, but Ole Miss is a little bit bunched up, but now they get a good clear out. Hopefully can start an offensive push here. Malone's done a pretty good job considering how much pressure has been on him. But Wake Forest just needs to get Jumper the core in the right spots and try to find those barriers, more open chances, because it's been too easy for Alonzo.
But once again, Ole Miss has a striker advantage, but DKB is up. I've noticed that every time DKB falls, Jumper and Malone are able to just kind of stall it out a little bit until they get back. But
yeah, maybe they've held control of the core even in the 2-on-3s, which maybe means whatever they're doing there, they should be trying more, you know? They're kind of playing best at controlling when they're on the back foot. So being a little bit more aggressive is what they need. Because you see DKB is the Vice, has that scoring output. And as I say, it finds a second barrier there, and Wake Forest is going to have a great chance here to get their first goal on the board. Jumper looking, great saves by Alonzo. Pressure's on the Malone. He's trying to clear it out. He does have a flip. Gets it down to Jumper. DKB just so under leveled that it's hard for him to stay in the plates here.
Yep. I saw in the chat earlier, Yachty was saying DKB is not going to get to play this match, and unfortunately that's looking a little true.
Yeah, but a great goal from Malone there. Goalies are the only ones who can score here, showing they really are the best players.
The goalie's always kind of that anchor of the team. You know, as long as you've got a good goalie, you can. The rest of the team can kind of fill in afterwards.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a pretty non-traditional game of both goalies finding every single goal. Jumper's low here. Malone's gonna have a rough task ahead of him, but he does clear it out. Puts out the Atlas hole to heal Jumper up, but Ole Miss forcing the flip out there with the great pressure here. They're trying to clear it out, but Yachty and Clearlove are just so well positioned to not let them get it over. DKB trying to push up now, but every time he does this, you know, he's so under leveled that they're able to punish him. Jumper looking for the barrier, can't find it. Yachty jumping in, and a great score from Clearlove.
That is one thing that I've noticed, is that I have seen Yachty sticking on Jumper quite a few times and just kind of denying him the ability to get past to. And that's kind of what you have to do, because Jumper is the better forward on this team. So if they just keep killing DKB and keep denying Jumper the space to be a forward, it's just going to continue to be a rough match.
Yeah, you see the Juno hotshot finding both barriers there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jumper is such a strong player, and he gets that respect there where you just try to deny him the core, and Yachty just stands on top of him, throws the slimes when he can. They know he's their best chance, even though he's a midfield player, to score, to create offense, and so they're just going to deny him at all costs. He brings out the flip here, not able to find much. 2 flips on the side of OME. They're keeping the pressure on again, although Quirlove is low here, so is Jumper. Whoever finds that KO might have the advantage in the round here, although, as I say that, Ole Miss still has both barriers up. Alonso doing a great job here.
All right, first barrier for Wake Forest. All right, can they pull it back in overtime?
Yeah, both of those hotshot Junos gonna make it hard on the goalies here.
Yep.
Missed strike there.
DKB coming.
DKB goes down once again.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Wake Forest. Oh,
Malone
offensive flip
stepping
gets the
up,
second barrier.
finds it. Great offensive
Oh.
play if he can save that, but not quite. Tough angle.
Very
I like the
unfortunate.
chance there. I mean, Atlas doesn't quite have the scoring potential of Alonso, but when he stepped up and tried to score, it seemed to work well.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
sort of been out of a desperation move with DKB just going down so often, being bullied by these forwards.
It was a very good play from Malone, but unfortunately it did leave him just a little bit out of position. Just wasn't able to catch the rebound. But
At great angles, Ole Miss. Wake Forest sort of creating a more consistent opportunity here, forcing it in this corner, not letting it back. Malone, you see, stepping up past the midfield line, keeping it in that corner. Alonso playing great defense still. But Ole Miss is a little bunched up. It's hard for them to clear out with all 3 of them so close to each other like this. So this is what Wake Forest wants. Great pass down to Jumper. He finds the second barrier. Tough angle with the slime, but they have the goal open. They have the advantage in this round. Alonso, secondary down, ult down. This is when he'd be vulnerable, but they've forced Wake Forest sort of into the same scenario with all 3 of them bunched into this corner.
almost a Giga Blast score from across the map coming out from Jumper.
Yachty just throwing those slimes in the passing angles between Malone and Jumper, as we were talking about. They just want to deny him the core. But he's doing a great job of setting DKB up as much as he can here. They're not, Malone's holding down that barrier, but they're not quite getting the offensive opportunities they want. The missile prop from Jumper, I think, was a great pick in that draft because it allows him to get more goal attempts from the midfield. It's a crazy angle there. Malone manages to hold on.
One thing they do have to
Jumper
watch
now
out
looking for the offense.
because Alonso does have burst, uses it there for defense. Core's going back and forth quite a bit in this overtime. It's really
Jumper
picking
with
up some
another
speed.
ult out, not able to find that one. Great revive there from Malone. DKB stays on the field, gets it down. Jumper just trying his best to get this down here, get it to DKB. Good angle by Alonso. Malone's still with flip and playing great defense here. Hasn't had to burn his flip in a long time. Both Vice ults coming out, not getting much. Good core control and patience by Malone. Another Jumper ult, doesn't find a goal there. It's a great round. Both great defense by both teams, honestly. Not even really any close calls.
Noticed as the match has progressed, Wake Forest's overall team positioning has gotten a little bit better. It's gotten a little bit tighter. They're keeping that triangle formation to keep those angles open, and I think that's what's leading to this really long round.
Ooh, and Jumper finds it in the corner.
Long range barrage, just able to barely nudge it past the Vice ult and just slide it in ever so slowly into the top corner.
Just to give a sense of how much pressure they're putting on. Alonso is level 10 already.
Yeah.
Second set here, 0.5. I mean, his save numbers must be extremely high. Great flip by Malone there. Avoided disaster in the double barrier. Jumper finds the barrier on the bottom. Wake Forest has a great opportunity here to even this match up, even though they're a bit underleveled. They didn't play great in the first set, but that could all be equalized here. And yeah, I agree. They're finding much better positioning. You know, DKB's able to stay alive, hasn't been KO'd in a while. They're just doing a great job keeping the pressure on. And I think a lot of that credit goes to Jumper and his passing, and Malone just feeding him the court.
Yep. Because they've been sticking on Jumper a lot less, and Jumper's had that room to breathe. He's been able to just kind of control the core as much as he wants.
I don't know if it was a decision they made of wanting to not stand on Jumper as much, but
Hmm.
I've noticed that as well, and it's not working out great because Jumper's just keeping the pressure on. Tough angle. Malone almost found the second barrier there. Both teams, similar to last round, just playing great defense here. Nobody able to break through. Good flip
Great
by
burst from
DKB, and he waits
DKB.
out the Vice ult. Chance for Wake Forest here. They're keeping the pressure on. Jumper's in there, close to a flip. Malone stepping up to keep the pressure on. Gets the secondary, passes it down to
Get in
Jumper, and
there.
he finds the goal.
1-1. That was a really great offensive play coming out from Malone, putting that expanse right up in that top corner, just kind of making a wall that just kept the core on the enemy side of the field, letting DKB and Jumper find the opening and tie up this match.
Great adaptation in that set from Wake Forest. As you mentioned, they were playing sort of that triangle offense, finding so many more opportunities. I mean, they were giving Alonso a ton of XP, but both goalies are level 10 at this point. Just keeping the pressure on him and not letting Yachty and Clearlove do anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
You see Juno on the side of Ole Miss getting the aerials, going to be able to jump longer. With how much they're not able to get the core, we'll see if that matters, but it's definitely something when the hot shot is up in overtime. I mean, once again, great defense from Jumper here, finds the core there. Just taking
Sneaks it
over.
through both barriers. This is kind of what happens when you let Jumper just control the ball.
Yeah, they're letting Jumper cook, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure that's what they want. 'Cause he's making a meal out of them. Clearlove tries to find it forward.
Oh,
Great jump
the
from
Atlas kill.
Yachty, but Malone gets the KO. Those random Atlas primaries just find the kills when you least expect it. They now have the power play. Jumper pushing it forward. Lonzo tries to clear up, but DKB, great positioning there.
Just
I think DKB from the first set has just honed in his positioning in the right place at the right time and not getting KO'd.
Oh yeah, his positioning was a little sloppy there in the first round, but just you can see in that goal he's really starting to find those offensive positions to just cover the angles Jumper can't, and it's leading to goals.
Absolutely. Jumper can't do it all on his own.
Mhm.
I mean, he's obviously been the most impactful player here, but DKB's doing a great job being in the right spot at the right time, getting some of the attention from Ole Miss, making them use their cooldowns, trying to KO him, but he's doing a great job of staying alive here. Jumper
Catches the
forces the flip out from Alonso
offensive
and still
flip.
finds a goal of his own.
Man, the tempo has swung hard in the other direction. It was looking really good for Ole Miss at the start, but now it definitely seems like Wake Forest is hitting their stride.
Yeah, that's 4 goals in a row for Wake Forest. And really the only offense you saw early on in this game was from Alonso. And so when they don't have when Alonso's having to worry this much about defending Jumper, defending DKB, he's not able to get those goals like he was early in this game.
Mhm.
And really they just need to help Alonso out by letting him breathe a little bit, try to make those offensive opportunities. And that's exactly what they do here as they find both barriers. Alonso passing it ahead to Yachty, trying to get it through there. Jumper was doing great, but goes down here. Malone's going to see what he can do in the 2-on-3, but it gets just past in the corner. Great goal by Yachty.
A burst might have been able to save the ball there. I'm not entirely sure, but even if Malone did burst, I can't say for certain if, they could have brought that match back. It's just the tempo of Jumper going down, all 3 of them in the face of the goalie. That's just something that's hard to come back from.
Yeah, absolutely. And great pass by Jumper there. Yep. DKB positioned perfectly in the middle of the goal, and all of the momentum is in Wake Forest.
Yep. Jumper doing a little bit of circle around DKB, probably letting him know that he needs to keep doing that, because his positioning in these last few goals has been really good. He's been right up there at the goal, exactly where he needs to be, so that no matter where Alonso tries to clear it, it just gets immediately caught and sent right back at him.
Absolutely. And the Vice pick, we saw it pan out early with the offensive potential, but Vice doesn't have something like an Atlas secondary, an Atlas primary where you can really lock down a position. And so when you get those repeated attempts and Vice has her cooldowns down, she's just not. She doesn't have the defensive capability that some other goalies have, and that's kind of the gambit you have when you pick it.
Yep. Great
Jumper
barrage
with that
from
missile
Jumper.
propulsion, just
Yep.
able to do whatever he wants from wherever he wants. Great jump by Yachty there. Find some pressure here. Malone, again, just feeding it to Jumper. Like we were talking about, DKB doing a great job in positioning. Still under leveled, but honestly, I think the shot to goal percentage on DKB has to be pretty strong. You know, Jumper is dominating the core, but when DKB has it, he's able to score. But they do find the barriers there. DKB going to try to keep it on this side, not let Alonso teleport in and get those goals like he was early in this game. They send it down to Malone. Good primary. Has the cooldowns down. Jumper in perfect position to catch that pass, and now they're back on the offensive.
There's some great offensive pressure coming from Ole Miss. Sneaks it through the top corner again. Just, you know, the offensive pressure from Vice paid off again there. If they can keep that up, I think they could definitely pull this back.
Absolutely. I think so much of this is going to come down to the early rounds and who gets the initial control, because Jumper just does such a good job of keeping it on that side and DKB being in the right spot to get those passes. And with Malone sort of playing a midfieldish role at times here when he's comfortable enough to step up, put those expanses, and make a wall as he does right here, it keeps the ball on that side and lets Jumper continue to just barrage them. DKB low on health here.
Oh, the double
Or
from
is
Wake Forest.
zooming. Clear by Alonso. They get it down. I mean, the hot shots and the Junos here are making it hard to keep track. Not easy on both goalies.
Yep, it is definitely getting a little out of control. I have a feeling, you know, if Ole Miss wins this match, they get another awakening. I think the rounds are probably going to start going a lot sooner.
DKB finds another score there. Not sure if he has any projectile range or if that was just max range, but he was up there. Alonso tried to clear up, but I mean, a great job. I mean, when it's like this, when everyone has hot shot, nearly everyone at least, you know, the core moving that much quicker than the players means those characters with range, like a Kai with missile barrage, are able to do so much more because they don't have to be on the court to strike it.
And then as you were saying that, recovery drone from Clear Love was knocked out. Both barriers down for Wake Forest. Jumper in a very dangerous position here, but two of Wake Forest do have burst. So it's going to be really hard for Ole Miss to sneak the core in there this time.
Both cooldowns coming down from Malone. This is as good a chance of any. Yachty trying to throw slimes in there, trying to find an opportunity. Jumper now with the movement speed, pushing up. Just able to do what he wants. Not sure if he planned that, but a crazy angle to get both. Great flip by Alonso. And it finds the corner.
Hot shot Juno. It
wasn't quite overtime, but still the core was zooming there.
Yeah. It's, you know, the hot shot on Juno makes the Slimes a serious threat because it's going to send the ball where you don't expect it faster than you can react.
Exactly. I mean, early in this game, in the first set especially, you saw a lot of KOs coming out from both sides, but it's now such more of a core control game. Interesting how it's evolved in that way, and I think that's part of why the Vice has been able to get less offensive pressure on the side of Alonso. You know, when everyone is up, it's harder to find those chances to teleport in and see if you can score. But just everyone able to stay alive here for the most part. Jumper pushing it into the corner, trying to put the pressure on Alonso. Great patience from Alonso to clear it out there. I mean, Ole Miss doing what they can, trying to find these offensive opportunities. They would love to find a set here and get the advantage. Good primary from Malone there. Uses the flip, but just a tad too late. The black hole here creating some interesting angles. We hit overtime here, and all those hot shots are fully online now. Great patience from Clear Love, but better defense from Malone. Finds it there. Jumper trying to find that last barrier. Alonso hasn't let them. Alonso nearing a flip as well, so we'll see if he can create some offense with that. They do find the barrier, both goals open. Jumper pushing all alone in the corner. Great clear by Alonso, who has flipped now. It's going to be
DKB
difficult
kind
for them
of
to create an offensive opportunity.
DKB kind of needed to be up there sooner, but because he wasn't, they were able to get the ball out of there. But now he seems to be taking that more offensive position. Jumper doing a
Yeah,
great
tight
job
angle
working
there by
that
Alonso to
midfield.
clear that. Absolutely. I think Wake Forest has definitely had more pressure here. They're keeping it up there. But as I say it, the Yachty slime with hot shot in overtime finds the corner.
Once again, tied up 2-2, showing that these teams are really close in overall team skill level. Looking like we might have a repeat of the LAN game in terms of just how long this game has already been going.
Absolutely. And like I mentioned at the start, the next pick is Taiko Temple, which has been called Ole Miss Temple by some.
Yep.
So Wake Forest really would love to steal this first game here.
Yep.
You know, they found a rhythm in there. They had something like 5 or 6 goals in a row. They were cruising, but Ole Miss has got some of the momentum back now. And so both teams have feeling comfortable on this map now, and now it's just going to come down to who makes plays.
Mm-hmm. We already got
Clear
one.
making a wall here, not allowing Jumper to get it up to DKB, although they did find that first barrier. Now
That was a great vice stun. Once again, DKB has really pulled it together with his positioning. I think that's making Jumper very happy, just from what we're seeing right there. But he had a great stun on the ball, stopping it right in front of the barrier, letting them get the second one. And then once again, just that offensive angle that just covered where Jumper couldn't, and then they just get the goal off of that. Almost with the double.
Crazy angle there, finds both barriers. Yeah, I mean, Jumper is going to be able to find you in those passes. So really, you have to be in the right spot, and DKB's doing that. Jumper getting both barriers really on his own there. They have the offensive pressure here. Great primary by Malone to send it up, keeping the pressure on. They hit it up to DKB this time. He's going to see if he can get it down to Jumper. A little bit of ping-ponging there. Yep. But with the center out now, passing is going to be key here. Quirlove's doing a great job disrupting these passes, sort of like we saw in the first set, just sticking on Jumper, not allowing them to get it to him, and making DKB make a play.
Yep. Because if you just stick on Jumper and you force him, oh my God, that would have been insane if he got that.
I think Yachty was the one who cleared that, but now Jumper hits it to that same spot and nobody is there. 2-0 lead in this last set for Wake Forest. Match point to take this first map of their pick of Atlas Lab.
Yep. Wake Forest has definitely pulled it together. And, you know, like you were saying earlier, this is the map that they picked, so they definitely want to pick up the win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Second map is one that Ole Miss is extremely comfortable on. I think it's less of a passing-centric map, which is where Jumper and DKB have really found their footing here. So that map will be tough, but I mean, first they got to close this one out. They'll see if they can with the 2-0 lead. One barrier down on each side. Wake Forest a little bit clumped up, trying to make an offensive opportunity. Jumper pushing up now with that movement speed. Something nobody else is really able to match. Nobody has something like high second.
Great angle
out of the flip. He's found both barriers. DKB and Jumper trying to make it, and Jumper finds the third goal. Wake Forest takes this first map, and just a great adaptation from that first set. You wouldn't have thought these teams are so even, able to go like this, but I mean, Wake Forest just sort of dominated from that point on.
I mean, also great play from both teams, but very Jumper with 289 redirects, Alonso with 305, really showing which person on the team can just control the ball best, and those numbers are kind of absurd, and it's very similar to the LAN, so, you know, Wake Forest has gotten better, but
tons of redirects.
Yep, I think Ole Miss has gotten better as well, so it's just gonna... I think each round is gonna be coming down to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we were focusing a lot on the offense there, but Malone was doing a great job of, sending out those primaries when he could, locking
Hmm.
down the corners, just keeping that core up in front to let his two front court players cook.
Hmm.
I mean, great job all the way, all around from Wake Forest there. Um, and we'll see if they can ride that momentum in. Like I mentioned, it's sort of Ole Miss's most comfortable map here, their pick of Tycho Temple,
Hmm.
that we're going to be headed to. But Wake Forest has a lot of momentum. Got to be feeling confident here.
Yep. No, I'm a big fan of Tycho Temple. I love just the ridiculous amount of bounce pads, to be honest, that are just on the map. It makes for some really interesting angles, some really funny kills. Um, yeah, and I'm just really looking forward to see Ole Miss on this map since they seem to be so comfortable on it. And I think the match is going to come down to, can Wake Forest adapt? They had great adaptation that first game, but now Ole Miss has the home field advantage. Can they do it again and bring the set to 2-0, moving on to the next round?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the maps could not really be more different. A whole new game here. So,
Hmm.
as you mentioned, once again, Wake Forest is going to have to adapt, and we'll see what they can do. Um, Unstoppable and extra special are the starters here. You see, Wake Forest looks like they're going to ban that do move forward, which is so popular on this map, and
Yep.
which Ole Miss is really comfortable with.
Yep.
And no ban from Ole Miss unless that's some kind of bug.
But both of the awakenings here aren't like super game changing. They really isn't one that's gonna like they have to pick a character for it, like the hot shot on Juno last time that was so impactful. But extra special is really good on all three of Wake Forest's characters. All of them have really impactful ultimates. I expect at least one of them to take it here.
Yeah, Wake
But
Forest, you see sort of going for another core control passing centric team,
hmm.
where Ole Miss is going for Mako, Asher, size. And
Yep.
size is so important on this map. That's what people say you need to incentivize. So we'll see what reigns here.
Yep. And Ole Miss has picked characters that create um, creations.
Yeah,
Kind of filling in for that banned Dubu, but creations that can just block off an entire half of this map is just a really solid strategy.
absolutely. With Asher and Era ultimates, you're just going to want to force into those corners as Wake Forest finds the quick double barrier angle here. Clear Love trying to force it in that corner. That's what Asher is so strong at, but they are able to clear it out. Dribble by Yachty off the middle, force it to Clear Love in that corner again. I think that's going to be their game plan, really. You want to get it to Asher in that corner, let her primary. It's just so hard to clear out of there as a goalie, as a midfielder. Those passes are hard to cut. And Malone pushes up with the secondary, cuts off that angle, and a great shot by
Yep.
KB.
Extremely offensive positioning coming out from Malone, and it paid off in spades there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Atlas on this map, the angles are so tight on around the centers that you're able to completely block off a center like that when you're comfortable enough to step up. And you saw the DKB with the ult there, able to get both barriers, but does go down. We'll see if there's more KOs on this map. We didn't see that outside of the first set on the last one. Jumper doing a great job just stalling here for DKB to come back. Malone sends it ahead. Alonso has flip, gets the ult in the center, gonna create some tricky angles. Does get down to the corner. Yachty with a great flip, great positioning there. Both goals open.
Alonso does have flip if they need to use it. So far, Wake Forest has been getting these early barriers, but I think Ole Miss might be starting to find their footing, especially with this positioning. Because if they can just get the ball to Clear Love on Asher, it's really easy for Asher to just stuff the ball straight past you.
Yeah, you saw it there. I mean, Malone probably thinking, I don't need to use flip here. Maybe a little bit too greedy, and Clear Love able to find it. and they're able to push up with that arrow ultimate. They don't find it there, but they do get the flip out. Great defense by Malone, but those are the opportunities they're going to want to create.
A great barrage
DKB
coming
in
out
great
from
positioning
Jumper.
there to find both barriers. See, Ole Miss now are surrounding the core. They did a great job to keep some pressure on there, but Malone was able to finally get it out to Jumper. The core sort of staying on the top, and Jumper left all alone on the bottom. They're going to see. You might want to let it come in and try to pass it down to him, just like that. Jumper able to hopefully stall this out while DKB's down. You're seeing more KOs on this map. That's, I think, what Ole Miss is comfortable with. You know, trying to score in those power plays, especially on a map like this.
Well, I mean, that's what worked on the last map. Is, you know, the rounds where they were able to consistently knock out DKB and shut down Jumper are the ones, the one set that they won.
Yeah, absolutely. Great defense from both sides here, honestly. Trying to control that midfield. It's so hard to pass on this map with all the drum angles. And so both goalies, I think, fairly comfortable. Alonso uses the flip. Jumper uses a flip of his own, but doesn't find anything. Now with overtime, as I was about to say, I mean, the core just too quick to react there for Malone with an immobile goalie like Atlas.
Yachty just able to find that core flip, get it straight up to the corner where Malone just can't get to.
The Visel not able to find anything there. Clearlove looking for a KO on DKB once again. He's a little bit low. They find both barriers early here. And this might be what Ole Miss needs. If they can wrap up this set quickly, confidently, get that first set on their own map pick, they'll be feeling good. After all, the momentum was in Wake Forest's favor after the first map. Yachty and Clearlove doing a great job positioning here, just not able to let Malone get comfortable for even a second.
A lot of passing just around that center bumper. It's kind of both teams have very similar positioning, where they can just all keep passing to each other, all trying to find that one mistake the opponent makes where they're just slightly out of position and they can sneak it past.
Absolutely, and that's where you see on this map size being so important, is when you're passing in there. I mean, like, just being bigger means you can get to the opponent's passers. You cut them so much easier than the smaller characters. And once we get to the Awakening here, I think you're going to see size be a huge emphasis for both sides.
Yeah, especially on Asher. If Asher's able to get any size Awakenings, it's going to make the already oppressive primary ability just even more oppressive.
Yeah, Jumper with a good dribble there, almost found a chance. But Alonso just doing a great job holding this barrier down. I mean, we're in overtime. The only barrier they found was from Malone. Just doing a great job. They're denying passes to Jumper. DKB is being bullied a little bit here, under-leveled. Low on health, seemingly the whole game. Jumper uses the flip, great patience, so they find both goals open. Wake Forest a little bit in control of this round now, with Ole Miss not able to step up and Jumper just pushing into the
Oh, man, they missed the strike there. That was just very unfortunate. I've seen a couple of times where it seems like Malone is just slightly, just a little too late to whatever button they're trying to push. So I don't know what's up with that. You know, could be an off day, could be a ping thing, but as
it happens.
It does, and it's unfortunate, but outside of that, they are still doing a great job.
Surprised that Built Different is going to be able to drop this far. I would expect Asher to pick it, but they haven't yet. They're going to go for the Sparks instead.
Interesting.
You know, with a map like this, I'm surprised that the size didn't go pick.
Yeah, same
but
here.
They wanted to go for more scaling.
Interesting start.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was an issue there, or I mean, all the players are moving, but it looks like we might have some kind of issue. Or this
I don't know. It could have just been their strategy, because it's now one barrier both team.
Yeah. We haven't even started, even playing field even after the unorthodox start there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, DKB, even with these Atlas ults healing him, he's just being so bullied as you see him pushed out by the ult there.
Yeah, something seems up. Okay, I think
Yeah.
there's an issue. Yep, we're getting a pause. All right. So yeah, so it definitely wasn't just their strategy there. Something has gone wrong. Yep. No word.
We have
what it
no
is.
clue what's going wrong exactly yet, so we can see.
Next spike. Okay.
We're hearing the lag spike, not sure on the part of who. Alonso.
Okay, Alonso disconnecting.
So maybe it was him.
Oh.
Looks like Alonso's resetting.
Okay. Yeah, as we I don't know. So far, it's been a very good match, I will say. Exactly what I was hoping to see from both teams. Just great offensive pressure and great defensive plays. Just, you know, it's already match has been going on for like almost an hour now already.
Yeah, and we're one set into game 2.
Yeah.
Half period.
All right. Great.
Looks like they're ready now.
Good to go.
So we're going to be coming back. Both goals were opened, I believe, in our set. I guess this point is still going to count.
Okay.
So we're going to get back into it. Wake Forest is going to try to see how they can adapt. DKB, you see under level, just not able to find many opportunities. They're just kind of having to play on the back foot with DKB so low. Jumper trying to get it ahead, but not really. DKB isn't able to move up past that center court line and get those opportunities. So let's see what they can do once we start again.
Okay.
Lonzo's
all right,
back.
and here we go. Oh, great Vice ult.
Great angle by DKB. Jumper passes into the middle there.
Yep.
Maybe that's just, we said they were a little bit new to playing with each other, but I mean, if that was communicated, that's exactly what you want to see out of the side of Wake Forest.
Oh, they've had a decent bit of time since the Wake Forest LAN to play together and really get that communication down, and I do think that it's really showing.
Yeah, it's paying dividends. They're keeping the core on this side, find one barrier. And I mean, once again, just right after the first set, we see Wake Forest just come out motivated.
Great burst from Alonso.
Flip by Alonso.
He could be
Incredible
almost
defense
catches
there.
it.
Yeah, I mean, Wake Forest once again just adapting perfectly. A great angle by Clear there to find in the corner.
Sneaks it through.
And they sneaks it into the corner. Great angle by Clear. And I mean, that's kind of what you expected. I mean, if they're going to score, it's going to be Asher, with the other being a more supportive pick in area. Locks down an area, but not necessarily able to score. So Clear Love just going to look to dominate those corners with Asher, put the goals in. But Wake Forest, I mean, seems to have found a little bit more of a rhythm there. And we'll see if they can make more offensive opportunities like they did in that last round. Great defense from Malone, not even letting that barrier go down the corner. DKB putting the pressure on a little bit, but not able to pass it down to Jumper with Yachty just all over him.
Yep. But DKB has been able to just kind of slowly work that ball up the field. And they were able to get that first barrier. Clear Love first going down, killing DKB, but has also staggered themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, Wake Forest just so focused on the core here and on defense, they're not able to punish that low stagger. Malone, right as I say it, though, pushes up and finds the Expanse KO. I mean, when Malone's been able to push up like that, it's created great opportunities for them. So they'll see if they can make more of those. I mean, if in a future draft they're able to get something like Twin Drive, that would allow you to just push up, get those expanses locked down the sides. But
Mhm.
Clear finds it into the corner here. Great pass ahead to the Visol, not able to quite find it, but Wake Forest just finding such a better rhythm here, exactly like we saw in the first match.
Mhm.
The
They
aggressiveness
definitely,
gets a little bit punished there from Malone. Has to use his own
yeah.
flip as he tries to dribble, not realizing maybe it's overtime.
Yeah, Wake Forest definitely has shown that they can adapt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Ole Miss kind of doing what we were talking about earlier of just sticking on Jumper, smothering him, not really letting him get the core and making DKB make the plays. But DKB's, stepping up to that, and he's doing a
Yeah.
great job here, keeping the core in front. They get it down to Jumper there and find the barrier. Finally, a goal open here as we're in overtime. The crucial point with the set being tied 1-1.
Both are open.
Great pass down to Clear. I mean, both teams just playing exceptionally well right now. Every round coming down to
Oh!
Jumper. Great
Oh,
angle,
what a
great
shot.
patience. He really faked like he was going to go up, possibly to DKB, possibly to the top corner, and then just puts it in the corner right at the last moment
Yep.
of that flip.
Was, that was a bit of a risk because, he shot towards the angle that Alonso was closer to, but I don't think Alonso was ready for that and just had so short to react to it that it just slipped right by. Clearlove getting knocked out again.
Yeah,
Wake Forest
they have
able to
the
really put
2-on-1.
on the pressure here.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
Wake
defensive
Forest, once
play.
again. Yeah, Ole Miss holding it down right now, but just so much pressure on them and not able to put pressure on Malone. He's playing great, passing it down to Jumper at all these chances. They're positioning great, locking up both sides and just keeping the core on that side once again. We'll see what Ole Miss can do to try to mitigate that. I mean, they found some KOs here, but it's been more mutual. Like, Clearlove has been finding themselves low as well. So they're not
right
able
in
to
the
really
corner.
dominate like they can, but they find it in the corner there.
Yeah, that corner is exactly where Asher wants it.
Malone doing a great job passing through the goal here. They don't really have an Estelle or something that can punish something like that, so he's doing a great job with the awareness there. Alonso misses his flip, so they find the second barrier with both goals open here now. Wake Forest looking to put their first set of this map on the board.
It was a very unfortunate angle, caused the loss of their last barrier, and then followed up by a missed burst. I'm sure Alonso's not feeling great about that, but
Yeah, but he's still
they're still keeping it up.
down nonetheless. Yeah.
Good players can kind of, they make mistakes like that, but they don't let it affect their mental, and they just keep playing great.
That's how you let the losses compound. But I mean, they're staying poised here, playing great defense. I mean, both sides here just look calm, look collected, even though they're both extremely motivated to win. But Jumper finds the corner there. And this set is tied up 1-1.
1-1. Yep. It's definitely feeling a lot like a repeat of that LAN game. And I know I keep bringing it up, but that game was something else, especially to watch in person.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of sweeps there, but that third, fourth place game was just could not be more exciting. And we're seeing that again here, just long overtime rounds, just great passing, great saves. I mean, all around these teams know each other well, but still catching each other off guard and doing a great job here. Chrono boost on the side of Asher, so still not able to find any size. The Atlas does find size, sort of denying that what Asher was likely going to take, so he gets the recovery drone there. And yeah, tough because you went for the gamble you could have had built different on Asher. You instead went for the Spark of Strength, but not able to find a Spark in the second set. So, you went for the more risky play on the side of Ole Miss in that first draft, but it doesn't pay off here. But they're finding a great offensive opportunity with both barriers open.
I did notice that Jumper was not able to get missile prop this time, which was causing a lot of issues for Ole Miss last game. And it's still a really good awakening on Mako, especially it kind of just lets her control the field from all the way on her side. With
We just saw Malone,
charged
the
up
recovery
swing.
drone. I said it was a steal, but it saved him there, and they're able to keep the pressure on. Jumper gets, you mentioned not the missile prop, but quick strike. He's going to look to use it here. Pushes in, great patience there. Gets Alonso's flip out, uses the flip of his own to open up the goal. Another overtime round and a great pass from Yachty. Clear Love knew right where to be and puts it in the corner.
Yep. That positioning, very similar to what DKB was doing earlier today. Just getting right up in there, just ready for the pass, and then gets the goal off of it.
Great job by Ole Miss. You know, I didn't love these drafts for them so far, but maybe just positioning and how they're playing can be how they turn the momentum back, which they've already done with the 1-0 lead and the 1-1 set here.
Yep.
Great
Very
clear by
aggressive
Malone there,
first.
almost, but a flip, and they find the goal open.
Yep.
And Alonso, like we said, not much pressure being put on anymore. Able to just send it up to his forwards and see what they can do.
Cross map, Miko ult.
Yeah, that's that missile propulsion. Just lets you get into the play when you're not expecting. I mean, Mako obviously extremely different from Vice, but in the same sort of way, Alonso's going to want to, you know, assist his forwards up there. Playing great defense on this corner. They're in the 2-on-3 now, but he's just not letting anything through.
Yeah. Yachty just utilizing that speed boost to just kind of run around, and they were doing a great job keeping that barrier up. But definitely
Still have
looking
the
like,
advantage.
yep.
2 flips on the side of Wake Forest.
Oh, Alonso misses
And
the
that's
ball.
tough. It goes around the corner. So having no size does to you on this map. DKB uses the flip, try to find the corner. It gets to Jumper and he puts it in. Tied up 1-1 in this set.
Once again, just kind of showing that really neither team you can say for certain is better than the other. Every match is coming down to an extremely long overtime. Each team has their moments where they have great positioning. Each team has moments where, you know, they're out of position a little bit. But the burst kill coming out from Yachty, turning it back into this 2v3 situation that Wake Forest has had to face so much this set.
Malone went aggressive on his positioning there, but it cost him a barrier. Jumper trying to get it into this corner. You know, they have so much less corner pressure than something like an Asher, but Wake Forest still doing a great job keeping it in front there, even though they don't have the traditional picks that you see on this map. They're doing a great job still passing, keeping control, keeping the pressure on Alonso, but Alonso stepped up to it, and that's why they're tied here. Jumper, he likes to go for those delayed flips, doesn't find it there, but the pass through everyone does there. And they have the goal open once again. Malone trying to get it down to Jumper, but passes it right to Clear Love. Jumper pushing up on the offensive. DKB with the ult. Alonso able to react. We're in overtime now. Everything's going to be a lot quicker. Pressure on both goalies.
Jumper has done a great job of having this barrage exactly when they need it to, because they've kind of used it every time to just see, like right there, they're using it to just force it right past the Asher, keep it at an angle where they can't reach it, and it's been really helping Wake Forest keep the ball on Ole Miss's side.
Absolutely. DKB using the ult to lock down that side. Alonso has flip. DKB used his flip but doesn't find anything there. Possibly more of a survival tool. Alonso almost finds an opportunity with the primary there, but not quite. DKB goes down to the air ult. And this is going to be their best chance here to take a 2-1 lead in this set. Alonso trying to get it down. They're trying to get it to Clear Love, but Jumper is just doing a perfect job cutting off that pass.
Great Giga Blast, followed by a burst.
Keeps away from him again. I mean, sort of in the same way on the first set we were talking about, or on the first map rather, we were talking about keeping away from Jumper. They're just keeping away from the Asher here because they know that's the easiest way to score on this map is Asher pushing into that corner. Good defense from Malone though. Clear Love finally able to touch the core, but you know, it's in the midfield and that's not where Asher wants it. Jumper with the flip and puts it in the corner. Great angle.
And, you know, I've seen some messages in the chat, people really wanting to see Jumper on Estelle, but honestly, he's been doing great on Kai so far. I don't think I've ever seen him, like, do a barrage that wasn't very high value.
Yeah, he finds, you know, impact from his abilities every time there. Unfortunate there that DKB's ult finds the barrier, but they are able to send it down. Jumper goes down, I think, for the first time in this entire set. He's done a great job staying alive, but they have the power play now. Yachty has an ult. has a flip rather. Both forwards have a flip on the side. They do a great job stalling out there. Gotti sends it into the corner. I mean, once again, they're just on Clear Love, not allowing them to get the core. But as I say that, they send it into the corner. Great flip and patience there.
As long as they can keep that ball away from Clear Love, they've been doing a great job just keeping the offensive pressure up. But as soon as Clear Love has just been able to get control of that core, you can just utilize this kit, utilize the bursts, and they just stuff it in almost every time.
Absolutely. Great job from Malone in the corner there. Gets it away from Clear Love quick. You know, it would have been easy to ping pong, keep it to Asher in the corner, sort of like you're seeing here. And I mean, this is just a hugely influential point to take the 2-1 lead. You put all the pressure on the other team. Great flip from DKB, finds one barrier, but not the second. And the pressure's on. Now does find the second. DKB, great positioning here. That's sort of what we saw in the first set. The first point, not able to find much impact, getting KO'd a lot. But, you know, a tale of two maps, but really the same story as Wake Forest.
Clear Love down.
DKB showing up, finds the KO on Clear Love there. Jumper doesn't use the flip there, sends it into the corner, back up to DKB who puts it in.
Yep. Great positioning from Wake Forest there, just covering both angles, and even if it started to look like Wake Forest could have gotten out of there, Jumper was sitting on a burst that could have just immediately turned it right back around.
Absolutely. But I mean, I don't know if this was intention, but just give more confidence to DKB. He found both barriers, a KO, and the goal on that final point. A crucial point, and DKB showed up.
They've definitely stepped it up since the last time we saw them.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier if Atlas was able to get a twin drive and lock up those barriers in the corner, play a little more offensive than he does here. Ole Miss on the back foot here, but they've created great opportunities at times. Recovery drone comes in quick for Malone there. Ole Miss just needs to take the momentum back, get this to a 0.5, and see what they can do. Alonzo, great defense in the corner with the secondary there.
Showing why he's pro league now, for sure.
That's right. You see Malone just able to step up, lock down those sides with the expanse, finds the KO with the primary. Oh, sorry, rather, that was DKB going down. It looked like it was Atlas tailing in. I'm gonna see they do finally find a barrier on the power play and a second one. A great chance for Ole Miss to find the momentum back. Malone displaced a little bit there, but not able to find the barrier yet. Two flips on the side of Ole Miss.
Definitely think
twin drive helping out.
Definitely think Yachty and Clear Love should have swapped a little bit sooner, because Clear Love was the one with the burst. You know, Asher with burst can be very oppressive, but Clear Love kind of used burst a little bit far back.
Yeah, used it more as a passing tool than to confirm a goal. So this round's still going to go on, but you know, Ole Miss still their goal is not open yet. Alonzo doing a great job sending it up to his forwards. Just going to see if they can find the right opportunity, position right. As we're in overtime now, and the core is going to be zoomed. Passing it ahead. Wake Forest getting a little more pressure on Alonzo here, but he's still not letting that barrier go down. Malone pushing up briskly. Has to use the flip after his own expanse, almost scores it. Passing it ahead, Jumper trying to get it past Clear Love, but Clear Love's doing a great job. The ult sends it up to Era, and Yachty puts it in the corner.
Once again, you know, a lot of the time these rounds are coming down to just who at that moment has the better positioning. It's not even just like, because like both teams are having pretty good positioning consistently, but it's just these small little decisions that they're making that just give the other team that slight advantage and then get the ball through the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, as you mentioned, it's just like that game we saw on the LAN. I mean, every point going to overtime. Jumper gets KO'd there. Found himself, I don't know what he could have done to prevent that after he used his flip. No evade, and Yachty puts another goal in. Usually you see the Asher scoring here, but Love's passing it down to Yachty, and those primaries are able to put these last 2 goals in. Ole Miss would just love to get it done here, send us to another set 5.
Yep.
Keep their momentum strong. Great defense from Alonso to pass it down to Yachty. Yachty
first,
without
just
flip.
barely catches
Alonso
it.
flips as well. They do find one barrier, but nobody goes down from that arrow ult either. Wake Forest keeping more pressure on at this point.
Be putting on some damage onto Yachty.
Jumper trying to get it up to DKB, who's positioned well. Not able to find the barrier. Great defense from Alonso.
Both teams are just having these moments where they just have some really aggressive and just utterly oppressive offensive play. Jumper coming in with the burst, picking up that second barrier. They're a little out of position here. They can't exactly follow up on it.
Malone and Jumper now low from that arrow ult. The extra special means those things are coming out all the time. Wake Forest still keeping their goal open here. Sorry, close rather.
Oh.
But Malone goes down to the arrow ult.
Down. Jumper's gonna have to play a bit more defensively.
That cooldown rate paying dividends. We'll see if they can convert the power play, and they do. Open up the goal. We're gonna try to get it down to Clear Love.
Oh, and
with the flip,
Jumper
uses
catches it.
Great defense from Jumper in the right spot at the right time.
Sweet. This last little bit has been some great defensive play from Jumper, making that quick decision to immediately cover the goal after Malone died, and being there to catch that burst. Just really kept this round going, and it's already been going for so long.
Uses the flip, almost finds a devious angle into the corner, sends it up to DKB, not able to find it. Alonso has to use the flip. DKB uses the flip of its own, and the corner. Alonso finds it off the middle.
That
was
was
a tough angle to guard.
Kind of an insane angle right there. Once again, next match coming down 2-2. Just every match is coming down to this last set. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to 2-2 this set. Final thing deciding it all.
It would only be fitting for these two teams playing each other. Interesting that Atlas is the one who finds the hot shot here. I mean, with every point seemingly coming to overtime, that hot shot I think is going to be really valuable. So we'll see what Malone can do that. Obviously, it won't be as much scoring, but passing likely with that hot shot. But I mean, coming down to the wire again, these two teams, they know each other well. They've played a lot. Still, neither of them obviously able to figure the other one out definitively. Every point comes down to the wire.
This is the reason why I requested to cast this game, because I knew it was going to be another intense match.
I was on the same page.
Yep.
Yeah, we both know both these teams. We know how motivated they are, and they're both showing up today here. I mean, no weak links anywhere really. Everyone's playing great. Great adaptation from both sides. As Ole Miss with the momentum from that last set 3-0, able to find the first goal open here. Both of their barriers still up. Send it down. Jumper has the flip. If he can find the flip in that middle angle and maybe get both. But Ole Miss does a great job sending it out. Keeping the pressure on Mako. Ult not able to find anything. They get it down to Jumper. Bit of a tricky angle he put on his goalie there. But Malone's able to clear it out. Yachty uses the flip.
Defensive
not able to get it. Jumper with a flip of his own.
Pirvov has definitely been a pretty big threat this round.
Absolutely. That arrow ult pushes Malone out of position, but they're not quite able to find it. You know, you see all three Wake Forest players on the same side as Alonso with a great ult there. Really just set up checkmate for Malone.
Yep. Once again, that, missile prop really showing its value these past two games.
So Ole Miss 4 points in a row here. They have the momentum. Their own map pick, Ole Miss Temple, as it's called. Great flip from Alonso.
Yeah.
Could have possibly found a double barrier angle.
Yep. I think if that burst didn't go through, that would have been a double barrier.
Alonso just playing fantastic here. Flip from Krillov, finds the one barrier. One
Asher
on each side,
shoving
puts
it
it in that
through
corner
the
with
top
that
corner.
tricky angle.
Yep.
That's exactly what Asher wants to do. You see all three Wake Forest players having to play defense. But as I say that, Jumper pushing ahead now, forcing him into this corner. Clearlove still just cutting these passes, keeping the pressure on. Jumper flips, not able to find it.
Great ult from Atlas.
Great last second ult there from Malone.
It was like last few frames before they died, they got that Atlas ult up.
You see just those huge arrow ults every few seconds with the extra special. It's so hard to control the floor, control the field, when you just have those giant blockades spawning every few seconds. Great pass by DKB down to Jumper, who's in the right spot.
Oh, clear love down.
He finds the KO. Alonso looking to maybe score with the flip there. He used it offensively. Now they're going to be on the back foot. Alonso sending it up to Jumper. DKB gets ulted, so he's not able to catch that pass. That's a great job by Alonso.
They will back up. They're really quickly turn this around into their favor on the offense.
Yeah, but Jumper wins the strike loads there, sends it up. Malone has flip here. Not able to quite use that arrow ult there. Malone does use a secondary. Sends it down to Jumper. Jumper's going to see what he can do.
Oh.
4 bouncing 5 times there with neither of them hitting it. Alonso just in control, uses the primary, sends it down to Clear Love.
Oh my
Great
God.
secondary, and Jumper finds the corner off the middle.
Yep. That core went around the world at a breakneck pace for so long there.
I mean, you can only ask Alonso to do so much.
Yep.
He had so many clears out there in the power plays. I mean, still able to find it out. But Jumper just finds the corner. Intentional or not, he scored, and we're tied up 1-1 in this set 5. Good patience by Alonso. That's such a tough part of playing against a Vice. It's just she's able, when you clear, to stun it right in front of the barrier. But Alonso does a great job of waiting long enough that won't happen. He's using the secondary here, trying to give the size. But, I mean, Malone and those expanses are just able to shut down those corners. In the same way that Asher is such a strong pick on the corners on this map offensively, Atlas is just great defensively at shutting down the corner.
You know, part of me does want to see Ole Miss bring this back because this is their map. I want to see more, but at the same time, this match has been going on for an eternity already.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens, both these teams are going to be playing another game, and they're going to be plenty warmed up after this one.
Oh yeah.
Still both barriers up.
Unfortunate bounce
For
from
Wake
Malone.
Forest, a tough angle off the corner, but DKB does go down.
Oh,
And
great
Jumper
Giga Blast.
set himself up for his own ultimate in the corner there. Perfect timing, and finds it in the corner. And Wake Forest, match point here, set point on Ole Miss's point, pick of Taiko Temple. They're going to see if they can find this last point.
DKB really needs to start watching out for those arrow ults because they've died to that several times now. What a great save from
Unbelievable
Malone.
expanse by Malone there, keeping the goal open.
Barely caught that.
Absolutely. We're forcing it into this corner, but Malone's holding it down. They have 2 flips. Clearlove uses the flip of their own in an
Barriers down.
incredible angle down to Yachty. They get the goal open, and they'd love to force this to a 0.5. Jumper uses the flip, doesn't find anything out of it.
Both of them
All
are
of
low.
those forwards on the side of Ole Miss are low.
Wake Forest can
Not
pick up
quite
the
able
kill
to punish.
here.
They find the first barrier. Alonso's holding down that corner with the secondary, but they get it. Gonna see if they can find the win here. Jumper forcing it at the
straight
corner
through.
up, and they get it.
There you have
Wake
it.
Forest 2-0 steals Ole Miss's pick of Taiko Temple, and they get through to face West Valley Storm Strikers in the
Yeah.
next round.
But what a game. Great play from both teams, especially on the goalies, just kind of showing that defensive prowess. A decent bit of kills coming out from both sides, just kind of trading lives as the match went on. But congratulations.
203 saves from Alonso.
400 redirects.
178 from Malone.
400 redirects.
I don't know if I've ever seen a number that high.
I've never seen that
was a
before.
marathon.
It was.
Oh, that was an unbelievable game. And Wake Forest, they lost to this team on the LAN a couple weeks ago. It was a great game, but they're able to adapt here. Both maps, really, they adapted to the first set pressure by Ole Miss. They come back and they beat them. They're going to have a tough matchup coming up, but they're in the winner's side, and they can feel confident going to this next one with a long warm-up there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely great game. Congratulations to Wake Forest. They're moving on to the next round.
But the story's not over for Ole Miss.
It's not.
This weird 11-team bracket, it's double elimination. So they're still going to be able to move on if they can find something in the next game. I mean, I think they played great here, honestly. It's going to be disappointing to walk away with a 2-0 loss, but I think they have a lot to feel confident about, to feel good about. Alonso, 400 redirects, can put that in his Discord bio or something. I think they've got to be feeling good here, even though it's going to sting to have that first loss.
I mean, even though it was a 2-0, that match did not feel like a 2-0. It just, every round was so exceedingly close that it's just, Wake Forest was just able to find those opportunities just a little bit more often. As I said before, great playing on both sides. I really hope Ole Miss can make a run. I hope they can, qualify for playoffs. I'd love to see them to, keep playing. But, congrats to Wake Forest. Another team that I'm also very strongly rooting for as a North Carolinian myself.
That's right. And I think we're going to be able to take a look at the bracket here. Wake Forest, moving on to play West Valley a little bit later. This is the first round still to play. Yeah, we did have a Rowan forfeit, so UCF Gold moving on to the next round. A little unfortunate, you always love to see.
Okay. I think I've said all I need to say about this. It was a great match, great playing. And congrats to Wake Forest, and I wish both teams best of luck in their coming games.
Yeah, great game. Great job by both teams. And we'll have more action for you next with UCF Rods versus Auburn A-Team. So hopefully more good Omega Strikers. Thanks for watching, and we'll be right back.